Hello, everyone. How are you? Hope you're having an incredible day. And may peace be upon you. Thank you for watching my show. Yes, I can. The secrets to life, business, and career success. With me, your host, Dr. Izdihar Jamil. And today, I have an amazing, beautiful, inspiring guest, Gaby Puma. She's an indigenous entrepreneur, a courageous indigenous entrepreneur. She's also a spiritual growth and leader transformation, and a number one international best-selling author of the book Woman Who Lead. Gaby, welcome.
Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Izdihar, for having me here. It's a true privilege and an honor to be here with you.
Thank you so much, Gaby. It's just I love talking to you. You've got this beautiful flow, it's got this beautiful spirit and an open heart. And Gaby, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you're an indigenous entrepreneur coming from Peru, so tell everybody a little bit about you.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. Gaby, with you, Gaby Puma, originally from the Andes of Peru, an Indian shaman, coach, guide, leader, and helping you, an expert in your self-transformation and the spiritual development, the spiritual growth for our visionary leaders who are impacting already so greatly in our world. So that's what comes up.
That is beautiful. And today, exactly that. We're going to be talking about spiritual growth and transformation that can help you to be more confident in your business and as a way to kind of like have more success. Because I feel like it's a neglected part, isn't it, Gaby? The spiritual part is a neglected part as we go into our line of work, consulting, coaching. It seems to be like a woo-woo kind of thing. So people don't talk about spirituality so much. So tell me why it's important to you, the spiritual side of you, as well as the business side of Gaby.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. Thank you for framing it as well, how it still is perceived, the spirituality out there, even though when we do come to the most simplistic way to understand, to talk about it, spirituality at the core, the essence is what you feel, what you say, and what you do is in sync. It's in alignment. How much in our path, in our careers, or in our endeavors we have disconnected from what we feel, what we think, and what we actually do. It's out of sync. And I come from my culture, from my indigenous upbringing, that we are so in touch since very early on with reality that ultimately is spirituality at its best as well.
That's amazing. Because I remembered in your book, Women Who Lead, you would always be in nature, wouldn't you? That's part of your upbringing. Like, obviously now the kids, you see how they are now, but with you, in your book, Women Who Lead, you said that you're always in nature, you're always playing. You would eat frogs, you would eat this, you would eat grass. That is a part of you. And do you feel that, Gaby, spirituality, it's not like outside of you, but it's actually within you?
Wow, thank you for saying that, because at its core, it is the most essence. It is what binds, it is what's holding life, right? It is this breath that we are taking. And I love going always back to the very practical, simple ways to get in, because as you stated earlier, it could be, it's so big, or it's so it's confused with religion and all of those sides of things. So being your true nature as nature, being one with nature, being one with life.
That is beautiful. Being one together, and it's not a separate or a separate box, isn't it? It's like part of us. And I remember times when when you go against Mother Nature, you lose, right? Like, when you have a tsunami or you have like the tornado, I mean, nobody runs towards them. Everybody runs away. So in a sense that kind of like shows that when we're in sync, like what you were saying, when we're in sync, we're in line with nature and our spirituality, then you start to see things and how things should be moved against. So, Gabby, tell us, what are the signs that we can look for in terms of where our spirituality is like crying out? It's dying, but it's crying out like, look at me, see me, witness me, take care of me. Is there like any signs that we can see that, oh my God, I just need to listen to my soul and my spiritual self?
Oh, how beautiful. How beautiful to put it like that. Yes, it's time, beautiful. Whoever is watching this, it's time for you to listen to that tsunami and to that tornado that is inside of you. That it didn't all from the sudden appear like a tornado. There are actions, there are decisions, there are choices that you have made along your path that all from the sudden now with the beautiful world, extraordinary world we are now experiencing, it has turned into a tornado now. That voice that it has been very silenced, I dare to say that has been very oppressed by so many experiences. Now it's screaming inside from
Yes.
you.
That's the sign. That's one of the signs, isn't it, Gabby? When things are just screaming, either your body is unsettled or you can't sleep. That's usually like a sign, isn't it? That it's not just the logical side of you, but the spiritual side of you needs some love, some intention, some growth. So, what are the ways that we can kind of tune in to that part of herself, because it seems that now the world has put it like a separate thing. But what are the ways that we can kind of like, oh, we're actually together? Is it through meditation? Is it through going out to nature? Is it through like walking barefoot? What are the ways that we can get back that part of us that's been so shoved inside?
Yes, 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 yes. One of the first steps, it would be to acknowledge and to create space intentionally, create a stillness. It may so be a meditation. And the very, very first step to dare to listen to that voice, to dare to listen to yourself and finding, creating that space. And from there, it's so unique to each one of us. We are so unique beings that it's going to guide you. Your heart is going to guide you. It may just so want a nice warm cup of tea, but very with intention. It may just be a walk out to the nature with your bare feet. It may just be talking to the birds that you have not done in a long, long, long time. So finding what works for you, what has been, and so much of that, and allow me please to share this. When you said in my book that I shared some of my childhood memories, I was so in my nature, wild and free and savage indigenous girl. I have forgotten all of that because of the path of my life experiences took me. And it's so much that I'm reconnecting to there as I continue to self-transform in my own path. And for you, it may be to reconnect with your childhood wildly dreams and true nature.
Oh, that's amazing, isn't it? Like, I love what you say, being intentional and create that stillness first and foremost. Because we're always so buzzing, aren't we? We're always so buzzing, bzzz, like, this way, that way, that way. But, when you kind of create that stillness, it says that, the mind is the biggest trickster, but the heart never lies. And I feel like the true guidance always come from the heart. And sometimes like, oh my God, the heart wants one thing and it's so scary. Like it's so big, like your dreams. Your dreams of like you, Gabby, like your dream is to have your voice out across the world, right? Like that's your dream. And one of your dreams, your biggest dream is also to take care of your children back at home. So what if your heart tells you these are your dreams, but then your heart, your spiritual self, Gabby, this is your dreams. And then the people around you say that, oh, that's too big, it's not too realistic, it's shiny object, or what have you not. And then that little girl is like, the savage, the fun goes like, oh, now I have to be sensible. So how can we overcome that, Gabby?
I feel it like you're describing my path and my life. It's how I'm crying a lot. It's just releasing a lot. Releasing because this, our true essence, our heart, the emotions, the experiences has been so stored that the first step you're going to be wanting to give in boldness and courageousness isn't going to be easy, you know, and a lot is going to come up, and welcoming all those emotions, welcoming, overcoming, having the proper guidance, having somebody by your side to create that safety for you to go ahead, and that nothing can stop you from going for your dreams. It's again that the very reason you were put here in the earth, literally.
Exactly. Kind of like hearing in Gabby's essence, hearing the Puma roar, right? The Puma roar. Because remember, Gabby, when you're writing your chapter for the book Women Who Lead, which is a book that I created, Gabby, like a lot of things came up, right, Gabby? The emotion, the doubt, the fear, is this the right way, is it the right way? And I'm like, oh, and then you were stressed out. And I'm like, okay, that's fantastic. You're feeling all that because that means you're growing. Let's go for it. Because I feel that here's what happened, Gabby. Like people have dreams. You have a dream, and then it's scary, right, Gabby? Remember that process? It was scary. If you have people that say, "Oh, you're stressed out and everything," like, okay, don't do it then. It's this, it's this, it's this. I'm like, what are you talking? Of course, it's going to be scary for Gabby because she's sharing herself. Of course, it's going to be scary because it's uncomfortable. Of course, it's going to be scary because she's growing. And did you survive, Gabby? After being a #1 Tisha best-selling author, she's like, oh my God, it's my book. And what do you say to those people that are dream crushers? Let's say you go to someone, oh, I want to do this, I want to be on TED, I want to be on Forbes, and a best-selling author, and like, no, Gabby, you can't do that because of this, it's too big, you're not ready yet. What do you say to those dream crushers?
The truth is, the very truth is that you're never going to be ready. Never, ever are you going to be ready. I thought that, yes, I need to be perfect. I need to be this, I need to be that. And I need to, like wash it in the face of all those people who have doubted me, who have challenged me, and who have rejected me and my path of all of that. Like I need to show up for them. And it was all the opposite. I needed to surrender. I needed to accept. I needed to forgive myself. I needed to flow again. I needed in the process under the amazing expertise and loving care of Dr. Zdihar here. I have remembered my soul, my heart, and flow, and come back to flow, to simplicity. And well, I know nothing. And from that space, the whole universe opens up to be with you.
Oh, that is like so beautifully put, isn't it? Like kind of it starts coming Like in a way, shifting your power back to you, isn't it? Because this is your dream. And first of all, if you have those dream crushes, you need to fire those people. You need to let them go. Because imagine you have a dream, I want to do this, I want to do this. Oh no, it's a shiny object, it's this, you're too stressed out. But they don't get that's what it takes to fight for dreams, isn't it, Gabby? You want to stay loyal to your dreams, you want to have the best people fighting for your dreams with you. Because, like, how can you just, there's a part of your soul that dies, doesn't it, Gabby? When you let your dream go away, or I'll check back in my dream next year. I'm like, oh, you don't even know if you're going to live next year yet, first of all. Like, and I love what you said, you're never going to be ready. So, Gabby, what made you, like, your spiritual self sees this big dream, right? And they're like, oh, I'm not sure. I'm going, like, knowing Gabby, she will wait for all the planets to align, okay? The spiritual Gabby's going to, like, that part of Gabby's going to wait for all the planets to align. But what made you take that leap of faith, that courage to, like, I know I'm not ready yet, but I'm just going to go for it?
Oh, so yummy. So yummy. Trust is something, being one of the biggest one to reconnect and realign in myself, and yes, in my most spiritual self, like to the grandiose of things, yet becoming very real, very real. There is no time to wait around. There's just no time to wait around. And I said, yes, I can. Yes, it is possible. It's been my mantra since I popped out of the belly of my mama. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I remembered that and I trusted. I trusted, as scary as it was. I trusted and I trusted, and I said yes. And then what do you know? Heart is going to align, soul is going to align, God is going to align for you to continue writing, continue taking the step towards your dreams.
Absolutely. And the right people is going to come to you with the right opportunity, the right framework. Like, trust is one of the biggest things because it's not easy. Your heart says one thing, this thing says one thing. It's not easy, but one of the words that you surrender. When you surrender and you trust, things just flow to it. And one of the things that I like, part of Gabby's authority building is that she became a best-selling author. She's on magazine, Business Innovation magazine. She did a photo shoot. Okay, so she did a photo shoot, which is like, oh my God, it's like unfiltered, it's raw, it's courageous, it's freedom, a different side of Gabby. And it is a virtual photo shoot with one of the top branding photographer. And remember what you said, Gabby, like you said, oh, I don't know how this is exactly going to work because you've never done a virtual photo shoot before. Gabby's in California. Our branding photographer is in London. But you said the word trust, right? Even though in doubt, in a sense that you're not sure of so many different puzzles, what do you say the word trust? Like knowing that I just got to take care of me. This is what I need to do. And the rest are being taken care of. So talk us through that space, because I know spiritual people, they're always wanting the big guidance. Do you know, like the moon comes in the hand, I always want the big guidance. I'm like, guidance is like all there all the time, right? So talk us through that in trust, and trusting even the little guidance is still the guidance, and knowing that, yes, I can. Yes, it's going to be taken care of. Yes, I'm being saved. And so it is done.
I love it. I love it. Love it. Yes, we okay, this is coming up even like to the extreme. We want Jesus in front of you, physicalized for you to not even dare. Would you dare to? You will just freeze, like you won't even know what to say, what to do. So it is ultimately coming back to the core, to the basic, to the foundations. What worse can it happen? To surrender, accept, and trust. Taking that first step. If you look back to your life, I guarantee you just didn't know it. You've trusted all the way along. You've trusted. You just didn't know. Now the difference is that you're making it aware. You're becoming conscious about it. That every encounter, and it's up to you, every encounter is a divine guidance. Every encounter is for you.
That is so cool. Like every encounter, every message is like already like the guidance, isn't it? Like you said, even you have like those moment where Jesus come in front of you, you probably freeze, you probably drop dead. You just don't know, right? Because you're not meant to have that kind of experience because that's for someone else. But I feel like guidance is always around us. You don't need to wait for all the 20 planets to align. It's always there. So, Gaby, talk us through about, you've been a best-selling author, you've been on magazine, you've been on photo shoot, you're going to be you're here now talking to me on my podcast and then my TV show. What has that kind of authority building, has that helped kind of boost up your confidence, or like the thought of, oh my God, I really did it and I can do it? And it's not, like, it's like first it's like such a big mountain, but it's actually, you know what, I just got to follow the steps and that's it. So what has that done to you when you kind of like shared your voice across multiple platforms and position yourself as the authority? So has it boosted your confidence or your message or with your clients? Talk us about through that.
Oh yes, I am in deep, deep, deep gratitude to God, universe, life, to my spiritual self, and to you is the heart for walking with me in every step of the way. And now with just that revived and deeper connection with my courage and confidence, and it has up level, of course, that knowingness and that guidance has expanded, because after all, we are having this experience, all of us in our unique manners, yet it means the world, it changes the world and our perception when we do have somebody else walking with us along the path. So being number one expert in self-transformation, spiritual growth, it's thank you to you, thank you for me to jump into the ocean of visibility and authority, that I wanted to just keep it to myself or something.
Well, it feels awesome, doesn't it? Like it kind of like give you the validation that for yourself, let alone others, but it's just for yourself. Like, oh my God, I did it. I wrote an amazing chapter. I contributed to a book project. I'm a number one best-selling author. I'm seen here. I'm seen here. For everything, it's just for yourself, and you know your message is across multiple platforms, and the right people are going to see it. I think that's kind of like always the biggest thing. And also like, I can't believe how simple it is. Oh, I just have to do this. Oh, like kind of having that space. And we play as a team, don't we, Gaby? Because we can't do it alone, and we have the best team around us to fight for our dreams, to take care of us, to create that safety so that we can risk it all. And Gaby, I'm so, so proud of you for things, like our journey together. Gaby's been to my home, she's seen my kids, she's seen my husband, and it's such a wonderful soul. So Gaby, let's wrap up the interview. What is one fun thing that people don't know about you?
Wow. One fun thing. Ooh. That I sing a lot in the shower, cooking, and being in my birthday suit, just free and wild singing.
That is so cool. We should have a karaoke thing, isn't it? Like you and I, we should have like a karaoke, kind of like jamming it up. So that is wonderful. And what is one word that, as an advice to any spiritual entrepreneurs or any indigenous woman or any woman who are from a marginalized background, what's one word that you want to say to them that kind of reveals your soul and also kind of like let them hear the Puma roar?
Oh, so much comes through my being as that question lands here. And the one on the top, it's screaming through me because I would have appreciated so much, so many times in my path that somebody would have said that to me. Love yourself. Love yourself. Through thin and thick, love yourself. Really, really, really do. As source, as your spiritual self already is love. So accept that.
Oh, that is just hits it, doesn't it? Lovely, because you're whole, perfect, and complete the way you are and the way you aren't. And what a beautiful kind of reminder to everybody, like love yourself first rather than seeking outside, which can be a little bit toxic if you're not, if you two go over that route, but love yourself first. And Gabby, what's one key action that any women can take in order for them to get a step closer to their goal without having to kind of like disregard the spiritual self?
Mm-hmm. Please do yourself the favor and write it down. Write it down. Your heart. From your heart. Not from this one. Not from the head, but from your heart. Write it down with such detail, with such love. Write it down with such intention, that dream. It all starts with writing it down.
Exactly. Write it down, the raw part of you, the unfiltered part of you, because we don't overthink it. Nobody's going to grade that paper. It's just you, just the raw, the unfiltered part. And that's how Gabby wrote her chapter. She just wrote it and wrote it and wrote it and wrote it. And then we, tune it and tune it and tune it. And that's it. It starts from that space. So thank you so much, Gabby. What a wonderful, uplifting conversation that we had. And thank you for joining, baby. You're such a beautiful soul. And like Gabby likes to say in her Facebook Live, hola, hola, hola. I forgot how she ends it, but it always starts with hola, hola, hola. Now she's getting back to her roots. So thank you, Gabby. Thank you for joining me. And this is your host, Dr. Istihar Jamil. Tell yourself, yes, I can. And so it is done. All right, Gabby, say bye. Bye, bye, bye.